This is a very unusual example. We have very large rod towers on one side, which is very common, but on the other side, normally it's a very faint system of rod towers. Here it's very larger. This is the only example I've found where that exists. So on one side they're about 60 meters tall, and as we then look at the other side, they're very thinner, but they're very tall. They're about 50 meters. So normally that wouldn't happen. The width here is about, it's pretty large, it's about 1/4 kilometre, 240 meters. So normally we've got one large group on one side and a very faint ring on the other. Here it's actually a lot larger than it normally is. We've got a building, and there's a lot of greenery happening, very lush green areas. Again, we're trying to think, is this a natural design or intelligent design? Again, this is what it should look like. We should have a large group of towers on one side of the excavation, a very small faint ring which you can't see on this one, and this one has a square excavated courtyard around it. That one is the only example that I found where this rule has actually been altered, where they're very large on that side. And again, it's an excavated area where these towers are sticking out of. Is this a natural phenomenon or man-made? It looks very hard to decipher how it could be a natural phenomenon, because again we've got these square courtyard areas around it, like here, rectangular areas. We've got a definite type of square pattern happening here, and it's difficult to believe that could be a natural crystalline formation. Just by zooming in the area again, we see one more here where it actually leads into the crater, and we see the one or two rod structures. Again, we see a definite zigzag excavated area around it, and that faint ring around the other side of the excavation or crater. We see that zigzag pattern more pronounced here, and here as well. It becomes very flat around there. We see the towers on one side, a very faint line around the other, and this pattern has actually been altered with this formation here, which from high up can be seen at about 5.5 kilometres. So if we go any higher, even at nearly 7 kilometres, that can be seen as something that's definitely not a natural formation. We zoom in, still 2 kilometres above ground, and this is an excavation nearly 1/4 kilometre wide. So this is again one structure that begs to understand how this could be a natural formation. Again, it's hard to believe it could be a man-made formation as well. So it leads to the question, is this an alien, a building? And one down the other side as well, we've got rod towers, and again a very predominant square rectangle excavation around one side. Could this be a natural phenomenon where you've got a square excavation happening around a rod-like structure that's very luminous? Maybe, but I somehow doubt it. So that was quite clearly seen again on this one as we zoom in. A very unusual structure, which I haven't seen in any other images on the moon. Unusual in the fact that one side and the other has towers which are virtually the same height of about 50 or 60 meters, where generally only one side would have the tall towers and the other side would be a very small faint system of rods. Again, by looking at these images, it's hard to understand how these could be naturally occurring structures, especially this one here, where you've got a similar ring of smaller towers around one side. and not larger ones on the other side of the excavation. That's the general rule of these structures. Again, larger ones on one side. On the opposite side, a very bright white rod system happening, and one little tower internally. Same here, larger ones on one side, a very faint structure on the other side. How these could be naturally made structures, I doubt it. Again, I'm just trying to comprehend the fact that we aren't looking at any natural structures. They don't look man-made, so it only leaves one other answer. Again, one example here. We've got that squarish pattern, rectangular pattern of courtyard around it. We've got towers on one side and a very faint pattern on the other. Here there's 3 towers together, and a shadow of those towers on that side. They look about 70 or 80 metres. We'll check that height. About 60 metres.